All right. Let's get it started, guys. All right. Let's see what podcast number we're up to. And then oh shit, I forgot to go back on live. Damn, it went away. Fuck. I'm going to have to go live again. Okay. All right, guys. We're about to get started. I know once I start talking, the chat will start to pile up. Oh, my eyes look beautiful in the light. Let's get it started, though. Let me see what episode we're up to. I think the last episode that I did was like 96 or 97 or something like that. If you guys aren't subscribed to the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We have 100,000 listens. We have regular listeners. It's like 400 and something who have their post notifications turned on. Hold on, let me see what episode this is. Podcast number 97. Podcast number 97. So this will be podcast number 98. About to get started on it. All right. It's really good. Got a lot going on over here. No, JLab microphone. Oh damn! I didn't even do the microphone for this thing. Whatever. Not now. Damn. Where's my book? Just a little kickoff. Well, we're about to get started, guys. So this would be podcast number 98. I'm going to kind of freestyle this one. I took some basic notes just to get it kicked off. But I don't really think I'm going to need it. All right. All right. Podcast number 98. So tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about theory, the theory of higher value. Higher value. Now that I talk about it, it's making me get some ideas on the spot. Examples in action. All right. So we're going to get started. I'm going to play. This is actually one of my favorite songs right now. Pasha 2 Times. It's called Want Me. It is on iTunes. You guys can go check that out. But I'm going to play it, and we're going to get started on the podcast right after this song. Just tell me that you want me. You know that I listen. Just tell me that you need me. You know that I'm different. Just tell me that you got that. Just tell me what it feel like. I just want that ass fat. You know I'ma do right. Just tell me that you want me. I heard you got what? Pussy drop and it trip. I heard you got locked for the box and it stick. Can't you tell me that you need me? Thirsty for that Fiji. You know they can't see me. Sit on my face and free me. I heard that the ops wish they swap in my place. I swear they want me gone. MIA, not today. And she gon' let her shots from the back and I rain. And when I hit it right, she gon' say, just tell me that you want me. You know that I listen. Just tell me that you need me. You know that I'm different. Just tell me that you got that. Just tell me what it feel like. I just want that ass fat. You know I'ma do right. Just tell me that you want me. You know that I listen. Just tell me that you need me. Cause you know that I'm different. Oh. Just tell me that you got that. Just tell me what it feel like. So that was Pasha Two Times, aka Pavelli. That song was called Want Me. That's on all streaming platforms. So make sure you go download that. A good friend of mine. I think we'll start maybe this month. If you have music, we will play it on the podcast, obviously for a fee. Those are my friends, so I don't charge them. But if it, and the song has to be good. I just can't be playing any good song. If I don't find the song a good song, or don't find it credible enough to represent the podcast, I will not play it. So if you are an artist, you can reach out, but your song has to be good. If you don't think your song is good enough to be played, don't send it to me, because your feelings will be hurt. Just letting you guys know that now. Now, let's get into it. So tonight's podcast, we're going to be talking about, the theory of higher value. But before we get into demonstrating and presenting yourself to be higher valued, right, we have to understand what hypergamy is. Now, understanding a woman's hypergamous nature, you have to understand it's the whole idea that women, they want a man who ultimately who they feel is not weak. They want a strong man. Now, by definition, hypergamy means the action or forming a sexual relationship with a person of superior psychological or educational background. Now, what is feminine hypergamy? Female hypergamy, simply put, is a woman's mate, for lack of a better term, with the best possible man she can find. A social economic status recognition is an innate drive in females. While men are designed to sow their seeds, women are designed to seek a provisional or provider in safety. And that makes a lot of sense, right? Because, women aren't going to want weak men, right? Now, usually you'll hear from a woman, like they'll say, well, if he isn't rich, or if he isn't high value, if he isn't making 100K plus a year, or some crazy number that they demand, which they obviously can't meet themselves, they want a man who has that ambition. So you can have the same qualities as someone who is a millionaire, and they will take you on because they feel as if you are demonstrating higher value. Now, ultimately, higher value is, women wanting a man that is better than them. And by definition, female hypergamy is basically what society today is on steroids. Even with women, with the liberation of women, and women still making more money today. Now, women will complain about that, right? They will complain about that, and they will say that, oh, well, women still don't make enough. But it has nothing to do with that. It's about opportunity. And honestly, men and women, they're just not the same. They're just not the same. And even in the 70s, and this is innate, like the definition, it's an innate thing in women. They don't like weak men. This is why the nice guys or the pushovers, they always come last, because their personality is demonstrating lower value. You're not conveying higher value. You don't have a sense of entitlement. And usually weak men are perceived as pushovers. If you're overly nice, complimenting her too much, if you don't check her for being disrespectful, if you don't do any of those things that would in her head be perceived as someone who is higher value, or ultimately someone who is better than her, right? According to female hypergamy, I read that definition right off of Google. Anybody can go read that, right? So basically, they feel as if they need to be with a man who is better than them, or socioeconomically better than them, right? Somebody who makes more money, somebody who's a provider. They want safety. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not the all be all, right? There are men who don't make as much money, and a woman will still settle for that man. And it's not usually until women get a little older and they say they want to settle down or they want a family that they will go for this type of man, right? Now,
Usually, women want a man who displays this type of character in their personality. Normally, that's normally how that goes, right? Because if a man is demonstrating higher value in his personality, then she'll be like, oh wow, this guy is different. If you're showing pre-selection and showing that a lot of girls want you, right? If you demonstrate in your personality that you're ultimately better than her, well, you're not trying to put her first. That's why nice guys put women first and they come up short, right? Like, say for example, I made the videos. It's a texting series. I put a texting series and some sauce that I put for the texting series that's going to be on Patreon. One example that I gave is when you're traveling and you're texting a girl while you're away, right? Which is a good technique, but that's not the point of this conversation. The point is when you get back from your travels, right? And you tell a girl, and the girl asks you, hey, so when are you getting back? And you tell her, I've been back for about 2 days now. That's demonstrating higher value. How is that demonstrating higher value? Because it's saying to her, oh, wow, you've been back for 2 days. You didn't even text me. I'm not a priority. Clearly, you're not like super excited to hang out with me because you've been back for 2 days now and you didn't even tell me. You live in the same town as me. You don't live that far from me. That's really crazy. So when you say something like that, she's like, oh, shit. Well, okay. I see I'm not a priority to him. Or maybe, that's demonstrating higher value in your personality. But a guy who isn't higher value, right? He'll be like, hey, so I'm coming back tomorrow. Are you free? Do you want to hang out? Oh my God, like you're so cool. I can't wait to see you. Like I just want to hold your hand and say nice things, right? Those kind of guys. Those kind of guys. That's just never been me. It's never been me. I always had the best pick of the litter when I was younger. But that's demonstrating higher value in your personality, right? If you're over eager, if you're chasing her, if you're overzealous to hang out with her, that's not demonstrating higher value. Somebody who's higher value will not be in a rush to hang out with this girl. Why? Because one, more than likely, higher value man has options, right? Having a lot of money isn't the only way to getting a lot of women. That's not the only way of demonstrating higher value, right? And this is why I tell guys, and this is my problem with the Fresh and Fit podcast, because their solution to everything is, oh, get rich, become high value, and then you'll get more girls. Yes, you will, but that's not the all be all. And if getting rich was that easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be rich, right? Everybody would be wealthy. That's not an easy task. So with that being said, you're eliminating a lot of people that like listening to your show. And that's not the resolution for everybody. And on top of that, not everybody just has a desire to be rich. So how do you demonstrate higher value without being rich? With your personality, you have to have game. You should be subscribed to my podcast, right? And you should be subscribed to Patreon. I don't always say like, oh, this is higher value, this is higher value. But the things in how I go about things is presenting to be higher value. For example, when you approach a female, if you go indirect, or if you go up to a girl in a way where you're displaying confidence, strong eye contact, you go up to a girl and say, oh, how you doing? What's your name? Okay. Oh, you got an interesting little look. I thought I'd come over and say hi and see if your personality matched, right? And you're looking her dead in the eyes. Versus, oh, how you doing? I just thought you was beautiful and I wanted to come over and say, validating her. That's not flirting. That's validation. You're coming off the rip. Oh my God, I think you're so beautiful. Where's the challenge for her? She probably already knows she can have you. Yeah, in some cases you might get her number, but will she text you back? Most cases, those numbers aren't successful. Now, there's always exceptional cases, and there are cases where if you approach a girl and tell her she's beautiful and you come off of validation, you can be successful. I've done it before. It's possible. But in most cases, when you're talking to an 8, 9, or 10, or a girl that's worth going after, a girl that's remotely beautiful, the shit is out the window. That shit ain't working like that. Absolutely not. But when you go up to a girl and you go up to her like it's nothing, like you're used to talking to a beautiful woman, you just tell her, oh, I thought you had an interesting look. And then eventually you start flirting and you make it man to woman and you let your intentions being known. That's higher value, right? When you show an abundance, like if you guys took a look at Dan Bilzerian's page, right? Dan Bilzerian is the epitome of what is a visual representation of what it means to be higher value. Literally a visual representation. Clearly he has money. He posts pictures of lots of money. The guy's a millionaire. He has tons of women on his page. He's always doing fun activities. He's always traveling, always on a private jet. He's always doing things that just demonstrate higher value. And higher value is basically demonstrating a life to a female that life is better than theirs. You live a better life than me. And usually women, they will respect you and they'll treat you in a certain way when they feel as if you are better than them, or you are better off than them, right? And they feel as if there's something you can give to them, right? That's usually how it goes. And that plays on that hypergamous nature. And it goes back to that higher value. Women will believe that, if they will believe that you're better than them, they will treat you in a certain way. Now, where does that respect stop? Hold on 1 second, guys. I got to get my fucking charger. My laptop's about to die. I went mad far and it was right here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Very unprepared tonight. I apologize, guys. But back to the topic. Women will definitely believe that, if you demonstrate higher value, they will believe that you're better than them, right? So, with that being said, being higher value is something that you demonstrate, right? So demonstrating higher value also can translate to a lot of things, like your car, the things you have, the things you do, your behavior, giving women certainty. And when they stop believing that you are higher value, or if they find someone who is more higher value than you, they will leave you, right? And it plays on that hypergamous nature. If you're with your girl and you make what, 30,000 a year, 20,000 a year, I think 35,000 or 40,000. 40,000 is a bit much. I think 35,000 is like the average income in America, right? That's like the average income in America is like 30,000 a year. And then she meets somebody who's making $100,000 a year, right? She makes somebody who gets 90,000 and who clearly lives a better life. And on a value, on an open level, she went from sharing rent, or you probably were living at home with your mom, but this guy has his own place, maybe his own house. He lives a different lifestyle, maybe drives a Tesla, right? And Tesla ain't that much of a fucking car. It's just, it's associated with the technology. So it seemed as like a more of a high-end car, but it really ain't all that. I don't give a fuck about a fucking Tesla. I don't want a Tesla. I don't. The Teslas don't impress me. I like the self-driving. Yeah, that's cool. But, but this guy significantly lives a better life. Maybe he has some jewelry. He wears all these nice things that's appealing to the eye. That's the guy's seduction. Just like women wear tight clothes. They get their BBLs. They wear, get their boobs done. They're looking super sexy with fake eyelashes, right? What is the man equivalent to that? Nice car, has his own place, some jewelry, maybe some nice earrings, stay very well polished, fresh haircut. Maybe even if he doesn't have a house, maybe if he has a nice apartment. Like, oh, wow, this guy is like, he's living, right? Versus you live at home. This guy appears to be higher value than you are, right? Because on the surface. Now, some guys trick girls, right? Some guys could be in a rental. He could be driving his friends or his mom's or his parents' cars, right? He could still be living at home. He could live in an apartment but have a roommate. But on the surface, he looks higher value. And a woman could be fooled. So then she might break up with her man for a little bit and see that, oh, this motherfucker, you doing the same thing that my man was doing. You just got a better look. It's just like when a guy finds a girl who has all these eyelashes and all this makeup and stuff, but then when she takes it off, he's like, oh, what the fuck is that? Right? It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. So, you know, but the point is, when she feels as if another guy is higher value, usually, and not all cases, but in a lot of cases, she will leave you. Now, you always have exceptions. You always have those girls who do have morals. You do have girls that usually don't give a fuck about those things. But usually, if you are in a position and you have the attitude of, you know, you're not being on some simp shit. You have a correct mentality. You don't put her first. She's not a super priority for you. Usually there's a bit of a challenge there. And there's always a new level that she's trying to obtain in your life because you're demonstrating higher value. Now, a lot of girls don't like when I tell guys a woman can never come first, because that's what society tells her, put her first. Like that whole Jaheim song. Remember that Jaheim song? You better put that woman first. And then he goes on to talk about how, oh, when she starts coming in late from work, when she starts not answering your calls, when she starts doing things that are indicating that this woman is cheating, you better put her first, which is backwards, because if she's showing indicators that she's cheating, what you need to do is leave her ass. That's not what you do. But see, society has lied to us. Society's told us, oh, you better fuck that. First of all, you're never coming first. Why? Allah comes first. God comes first. Whoever you consider your creator to be, that comes first, right? In reference to the, the monotheistic religions. That comes first. God comes first, right? So that's first. You can never come before that. So what does that mean? That means if you go to the masjid on Friday, if you go to church on Sundays, and she says, oh, don't go that day, come hang out with me. Absolutely not. God comes first. That's not happening. When you got to go pray and you're going to pray whatever you're doing, if you're praying salah, you're making, you're praying to God for something and you want to take the time out to do that. And she says, oh, skip that. No, fuck you. That God comes first, right? So when it comes to that, that's going to come first. Then you need to come before her. Why? If you don't put yourself first, if you don't put your health first, these are very basic things. And even women can agree on that. But a lot of women don't like that. Why? Because, putting yourself first is like basic. You got to have health. You got to have wealth. You have to have a place to live. And a part of putting yourself first is also having having a job, having a purpose. You got to have a job. You got to have a purpose, because if you can't take care of yourself, you damn sure can't take care of her, and you damn sure can't take care of a family. And if you know anything about any of the things that I teach, we don't believe in doing 50-50. Absolutely not. You run into a lot of problems. And by definition, female hypergamy is saying that a woman seeks out a man who is financially better than her and somebody who is going to take care of her, who can assure her security. But when you put it all together, right? Having game, not giving that certainty, also, having, that financial backing, she's going to feel ultimately that you're better than her, and she's going to be proud of it. This is why, you look at religion, where God says a man comes first. Men are made to lead. It's supposed to be that way. The only reason why it's different nowadays, because society tells women that they're equal to men. And this is no way me trying to be misogynistic, but you're not. Men and women are not equal. They're equal in the eyes of God. Yes. We are different, and we just have different purposes, right? We're just different creatures. They're very similar, but not equal. Men and women don't have the same type of energy. Now, I feel like there are some exceptional women in this world, but that's not going to be the masses. That's always going to be a small minority of the less than 1% of women who may be able to measure up to men. And even if you have the strongest woman in the world, doesn't compare to the strongest man in the world, which is why, there's a WNBA, which is why there's a women's soccer league, right? Like I said, you're always going to have exceptions. There's exceptions usually to every situation, but it's not something you're going to see on a mass scale. And that's why society today won't think that they're equal to men, because they're being told that. Things weren't like this 30, 40, 60 years. Well, I won't say 30, because I'm almost 30. I'm 28. You want to go back, even I would say the 80s, right? You go back 50s, 60s, 70s, anywhere before that. Women didn't have the type of liberation that they had. There's a delusion. And there's a delusion of it. But this is why society is the way it is, because women are taught that they're equal to men, but that's not really the case. Right? But even still, when you naturally go about it this way and you start to, just show with your actions. And one of the biggest problems is, I don't know why guys do this, but they feel the need to tell women these things. They feel the need to argue. No, especially if you're trying to pursue this woman, you don't argue with her about it. You just show with your actions. Right? You show with your actions. You demonstrate higher value. Right? You demonstrate higher value. Like, for example, whenever you guys go out, if you're going out to get fucking ice cream, if you're going on a date, look sharp, look dapper. You wear your best clothing, nice piece of jewelry, make sure your hair is cut, always look sharp. She was like, oh, damn, we were just going to get ice cream. I have sweatpants on. So now you guys are out together and you look like you don't belong. You don't look like you belong with her. And then you got people staring at you and looking at her like, oh, maybe that's his little sister or something. Maybe that's his, maybe that's just a friend. Or maybe he's providing, maybe he's doing, charity. Maybe he's doing charity. I told one client, right? I said, he's meeting up with a girl that he used to talk to. I think it was his girlfriend, his ex, and they were meeting up. And I said, make sure you look sharp as fuck. He got a haircut, made him cut his unibrow. He was wearing, made him put on his Rolex. He had a nice button-up shirt tucked in, matching shoes. He was looking sharp as fuck, right? He meets up with her. She's like, oh my God, you look so nice. And I look like a bum. I was like, yeah, because that's demonstrating higher value. And he just came on the date all calm. He's just like, yeah, I'm better than you. Right? But that plays on the hypergamous nature. And she was super attracted. She was all on him. And what happened? She wanted him, and he didn't give her what she wanted. But that's the whole idea of what it means to be higher value. Now, you don't want to sit there and argue with women like how they do on the Fresh and Fit podcast, or how Kevin Samuels does. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that guy. I like him. I like what he does, but I don't believe in sitting there trying to argue with women. It's like he said himself, it's like trying to train a cat. I have a cat. It's like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but that'll be a very difficult task to try to train my own fucking cat, right? Now, my whole thing is, I believe I'll get better results at talking to men, right? I believe I'll get better results at giving this knowledge to men instead of sitting there trying to argue with women. But you got to understand, that's his bread and butter. He makes money off of that. People tune in to see the way he keeps it real and he doesn't hold any punches. But I don't believe in sitting there trying to argue with women, right? That's not what I want to be known for. That's not what I want to be, I don't want that to be how I get recognition. I believe you'll be more productive in reference to relationships if you talk to men, right? Because men are made to lead. And once men understand actually what the fuck they're doing and what's wrong with society and all the mistakes that they're making, when you speak to these men and you tell them how to run their relationship, which is divine information, the Bible, the Quran, the Old Testament, any of the Abrahamic religions, meaning Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the largest practiced religions on the face of the earth. What does it say? Men are supposed to lead. A woman should follow and submit to her husband, right? So with that piece of information, that's why I feel, it's definitely more productive if you sit there and talk to men versus talking to women. And people like to tune into that stuff when you talk to women. They like to see the disagreements. They like to see the arguments. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to actually get fucking results. So when I say you need to demonstrate higher value and you want to learn how to actually do that, you should be subscribed to obviously the podcast, but even more Patreon, because Patreon is what's going to teach you that. Right. And getting rich is not the only way to be high value. Everybody's not going to be rich. You are missing a large portion of your audience if you say the only way to be high value, get rich, glamour up your Instagram. And no, that's not the fucking way. Because if that were the case, everybody would be rich. Everybody be fucking rich. Why don't we have a lot of millionaires? Because it's not an easy task. So being high value in reference to just having money won't be an easy task. You have to have game. You have to understand relationship dynamics. Yeah, they give the statistic all the time. 80 to 70% of women initiate divorces. But why? Nobody ever says why. Why is that? Men don't understand how to present themselves as being higher value. And even more, nobody talks about relationship dynamics. Nobody talks about relationship dynamics. Why? Because they just simply don't understand it. I had a client come to me, two actually, and they said they went to Kevin Samuels. He told them to just fuck the girl, leave her alone, stop fucking with her, which is not bad information. That's good information. But these guys want to fix their situation. So they come to me and I help them fix it. And the only time they go wrong is when they don't listen to the game plan that I give them. All right. So let's end this off. Oh, what the fuck is that? With Pasha 2 times. And then we'll take some questions from my guys on Patreon.
Just tell me that you want me. You know that I listen. Just tell me that you need me. You know that I'm different. Just tell me that you got that. Just tell me what it feel like. I just want that ass fast. You know I'ma do right. Just tell me that you want me. I heard you got what? Pussy drop, it ain't trick. I heard you got locked for the box, it ain't stick. Can't you tell me that you need me? Thirsty for that Fiji. You know they can't see me. Sit on my face and free me. I heard that the ops wish they swap in my place. I swear they want me gone, MIA, not today. And she gon' let her shots from the back in RA. And when I hit it right, she gon' say, just tell me that you want me. You know that I listen. Just tell me that you need me. You know that I'm different. Just tell me that you got that. Just tell me what it feel like. I just want that ass fat. You know I'ma do right. Just tell me that you want me. You know that I listen. Just tell me that you need me. You know that I'm different, oh. Just tell me that you got that. Just tell me what it feel like. You know that
All right. Let's see. We don't have many people on the Zoom call. Do any of you two guys have any questions? If not, I will take maybe 2 questions from TikTok and then 2 questions from Instagram. Now, guys, normal protocol is I don't take questions from live. And obviously they need to be topic related as far as maybe relationship goes. Other than that, I'm not really taking any questions. Last chance, guys. You two guys on the Zoom call tonight. Do you have any questions? I'm assuming not. All right. So I'm going to end off the Zoom call. Okay. Now, TikTok, Instagram. Do we have any questions? I'm only answering 2, and the best ones will be answered. So you let me know. I'll sift through the question area, send them to the question area, and I'm going to answer the best ones. Anna, that is very inappropriate. They do need questions. They don't need my abs. You might be the only girl on here right now. This is a pretty good question. If a girl doesn't want to meet up, you're not convincing enough. It's really that simple. You haven't conveyed to her that you are exciting. You are not intriguing enough. And actually, on Patreon, I already recorded the videos. It's called the texting series. Now, on the texting series, I tell guys how to actually get a girl out who they're not able to get out, and she doesn't want to meet up. That's going to be on Patreon. I'll probably release that when I get off of here. So Patreon guys, if you're on Patreon, you'll be in a treat for that. So if a girl doesn't want to meet up, that answer will be on Patreon. Doesn't exactly answer your question, but join Patreon. Your answers will be granted. Do you think you could give some practice steps? Take care of yourself. That's one. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're always looking good. Learn game. One of the best steps is to join Patreon. But it's going to be answer for a lot of things. But no, take care of yourself. Hold yourself to a higher standard. How the fuck did you get up here? Get down. Oh my God. What is wrong with you? Hold yourself to a higher standard. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Like I said, learn game. The podcast is free. Listen to the podcast. And understand women. Once you learn to understand women, then you understand the position that you should be in. Right? And just be your best self. Always look sharp. Even if you go to the fucking store, the corner store, to get like chips and juice, look sharp always. You never know who you're going to run into. And don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to talk. Look at my little kitty. But don't be afraid to talk. And that's one way of starting to become higher valued. Just because you're 17, that has nothing to do with you having much cash. It's $16 a month. I'm pretty sure your parents give you more than that for money. And if you do have a job, I'm pretty sure you make more than that. It's not a lot of money. You make it, get a separate card, keep some money on it. No excuse. I have kids that are 17 years old and they're on a $40 tier, working towards fixing their relationship. And on a $40 tier, you get to text me. But anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. I know I said 2 each, but it's kind of slow tonight. But we're going to get back into things. And Anna, you funny. You said you got some money for me, huh? Is that right? Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll holler at you until next time. I will be trying to do podcasts every day. I have some goals to meet, so I want to do that. And I'm also getting paid more from the podcast now. They done hooked your boy up. So, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get these money, you heard? Anyway, guys, holler at you until tomorrow. And let's end it off on the tube of the U. Thank you, everybody who joined. Tune in tomorrow. I will be here, and I will try to be early. Yes, sir.